this one?
This was when we went to Farmington for that studio sesh.
Really?
We went for a studio sesh. Dude, fucking, I think we paid like $230 for shit. The guy wasn't professional at all. He could have done a way better job. It wasn't as professional as it could have been, dude. I could have done a good job, like a better job with what like. It was just not what it was worth. What's up?
So pretty cool.
Yeah, Alejandro. Welcome to the podcast. What is up? Welcome. I got to give you like one of those claps. Everyone's all like, yeah, how's it going? See, everyone's cheering right now, but you just can't hear it. So the sound effects, unfortunately, are going off. You see there's a mix button. There's a button right under the effects. Where is it? The headphones. You see there's a button knob that says headphones all the way on the one. Yeah, there's two buttons right on top of that, right? Yeah. Okay, hit the one that says mix.
Thank you.
But if
What's
you
going on?
if you have the mix on, for whatever reason it doesn't work correctly. It's weird. I don't know. Just some bullshit, technical shit that I still don't even know how to use yet. I don't even know how to use my own fucking equipment. It's weird, right? Shout out to Behringer for a good product. I'm not sponsored, but I should be. You know, that's what we're all looking for.
Right.
What's up, Alejandro?
Not much.
Dude, you are a beast. Let me start off with an intro first. This guy's done it all. He's lived the gangster life.
What?
He's lived the rock star life. He's lived it all. He's a beast. Like, let me tell you guys, you don't even want me to get started on what he has done. This guy is a beast. Tell us, Alejandro, what was it like?
It was like one of those blurs.
I don't remember too well.
I remember everything perfectly. Then I remember it.
Tell us, Alejandro. Oh, I totally forgot to do something. When you have a chance on the bottom floor where you plug in the HDMI cable, I totally forgot to plug that into the computer. Fucking up, dude. Fucking up. Podcasting not at its finest.
They can still hear us, though. Right?
Obviously, they could still hear us. And they could see us, too. They just couldn't see this. This is what I wanted. Angel needed to have. He has it on the wrong side. You probably have to go straight down. Oh, it's not on anymore? Just put the computer on sleep mode. So just hit the power button once. And give it like a second or two. And then just turn it back on. Anyways, while we were here dealing with this, what's up? Tell me about that life. I'm just kidding. I don't.
Definitely met, like you, like a bunch of people in my life that I feel fortunate for knowing.
Yeah?
Yep. If it wasn't for that, I guess that weird path of mine.
It's funny too because like I always see it as like knowledge, you know more of different, not cultures, but like just different personalities and shit. Like you can mingle and talk to somebody that's in the hip hop community and they'd be like, hey man, yeah, I listen to good old fashioned Wu-Tang, or I like good old Eazy-E and stuff like that. Yeah, you can talk to them about it, and then vice versa, go into the metal community and just be like, fucking Led Zeppelin, bro. I can just rock out to, all that shit, no quarters for hours. That's what's cool about your versatile. How did that come about? What did you want to do? Did it just kind of emerge while you were growing, or were you brought up and saw it as a young age already?
I would say, yeah, as a young age, like in Korn, definitely that whole genre at that time definitely impacted me as a child.
Nice. So the whole, let's just categorize it how it is, how everyone else in the fucking world categorize it, new metal category, right? The new metal genre. Mm-hmm. At that time, you were already mixing the two, or did you were solely fixed on one and then introduced to another one because of that?
I think like I started seeing the similar things they had, so like I kind of recognized what I liked, kind of like picking parts, I guess.
Unplug it and plug it back in, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So you just, after seeing the two, you're just like, I like the heaviness, because I had a guest on here. I think it was episode, it's actually been a while, like 25. His name is Aldre, and he loves the new metal scene too. He just loves that, and he was talking about how he loves the way how the music sounds super heavy and cool, but yet they have this persona of being like, fucking gangsters, like one of his favorite bands were like Limp Bizkit and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So that's cool to think about. He liked Korn too, but no technical difficulties.
Oh no.
Hit Control P. I mean Windows P. Sorry. On there, go to where it says extend. That's probably where the problem was.
Damn. So what? Who else has been on here?
Dude, I've had this right now. You're guest number 45.
Whoa.
So I've had 45 guests on here. Some of them are repeats of some people, but they've been they come back. So same with you. You got to come back on the show. Got to be on more times. We're introducing more stuff on the show too with jamming and stuff.
Oh,
so
sweet.
we bring the guitars in and play and stuff. Again, we're a little limited on space, but
at the moment
we're still trying to figure out something, because the last guest we had, his name was Daniel Munoz. You remember him? He is actually from Los Lunas. He's I don't know if he's from Meadow Lake. I think he's an El Cerro guy. 'Cause you know how there's those two categories of people.
Yeah.
It's like, I think he was from El Cerro, but
The New Mexico thing.
yeah, he played guitar and he brought his acoustic, and
nice.
we did a little acoustic jam, and it was nice. It was pretty decent. I mean, it could have used the work, some fixes here and there, but for the first time jamming on the podcast, it was pretty good. So I enjoyed it. But we were talking about music. We're still going with music here right now.
Music's the best.
I love the shirt you're wearing right now. Remember those days when Stone Cold was the shit?
See, like I said, 90s thing.
It was like a late 90s thing. Late 90s, early 2000. It's crazy to think about. Time has gone by so fast. Like, to think that back then was the past, Holy shit. I was like, back in the day.
Yeah.
9/11. Holy shit.
I remember going to school to that.
How was it? It was crazy?
Yeah, I didn't know about it until I got to class. Everyone was like with a serious face, and then, next thing you know, I found out the airplanes hit, and then a second one was confirmed.
Damn.
I was a little scared. I was like, oh my God, we're going to war.
We're going to war. So you already had an idea of it.
Yeah, like, what was the damage could come?
Some people didn't even think that far. They were just like, oh, what's going on? How this would never have happened. And to think, though, that's like our generation's tragedy,
Mm-hmm.
There was like, no, I guess there's tragedy all the time in fucking history. Like Kennedy assassination and
True.
Bombings of fucking Japan with the atomic bomb and the war. So, I don't know. You can't categorize it, but that was a big event for us in our eyes, besides like Trump. How do you feel about that?
Well, it's our president.
I mean, are you in favor of the wall?
The wall? Is it going to get built?
I don't know. What happened? I totally wasn't paying attention because I don't really pay attention. But what happened with this whole government shutdown? I thought he was having the wall because of it. He's like, government's not going to be working until we get money for the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened.
He was very much requesting funding.
So I don't know.
Well, the government shutdown is gone.
All right.
Much people are relieved. Fine, time to get them paid again.
That's weird too. The fact that can just happen. It's like, I'm shutting it down, and then all of a sudden there's nothing works like that.
Think about it. The president has a lot of power.
Oh,
That's
man.
so it's supposed to be a big deal if someone has that position.
How much power though? Do you think they already let? Okay.
Have you seen that the FBI or the X-Files?
Yeah. There's some crazy shit, right?
There's out there, man.
Does he know though? Like, their whole joke is like, once you become president, you get confirmed and get all kinds of secrets told to you.
You read the book, yeah. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, you are the president, right? You are in charge of like the CIA, the FBI. You got everyone.
It's dangerous. I wouldn't know. I would just be like a guesswork that he did learn all these secrets. But...
Kind of, but like, we do have like the power to like impeach him if anything gets too heavy.
They've already said that now because he's a damn.
Well,
he's tweeting
process,
out fucking
so
shit.
Everything is a process,
That's true.
Just like they say, Your card will be in within 3 to 4 weeks.
Oh my god.
Anyways, but yeah, man. Definitely everyone has a life event, but the way I grew up. That was fucking awesome.
Right. We grew up in a great technology time, that's for sure.
Definitely.
We got to play with some cool stuff. Like literally we have knowledge in our pockets, like, of the world instantaneously. I know where everybody is if they just let me know. They're like, hey, I'm at 5252
True.
Lavada Street. Like, I know where that is instantly because I could look it up. So that's crazy. How do you feel about Elon Musk? He's a genius, right?
Elon Musk.
You know who Elon Musk is, right? You don't know who Elon Musk is? Holy shit. We got a lot to learn today. All right. Elon Musk is like this genius, right? That like is an amazing engineer who builds all kinds of stuff. He built the Tesla cars. Have you ever heard of Tesla cars?
Okay.
So those Tesla cars, they're energy efficient because they run on batteries and stuff. And some of them are self-driving. They drive themselves. And Elon Musk did this. Elon Musk was also doing funding for going to space. I don't know if you've heard of the thing called SpaceX. It's like
I heard about it.
they're developing spaceships to land again. So they take off and they're able to land again so that we could reuse them.
Mm-hmm.
So he's developing this as well. So
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
man.
Elon Musk is a crazy guy. It's probably been like almost a few months ago, but he was on the Joe Rogan podcast and he was talking some crazy shit. He was talking about AI. How do you feel about AI? Are you pretty confident that it will help us? Is it going to be a Terminator situation where Skynet takes over the world? How do you feel about AI? Do we have to regulate it, or is it inevitable that it'll just take us over?
I think if AI happens, it's going to be like a whole... They're going to pretty much eventually going to get right. You know, that's how I feel.
So if AI does happen, they will have rights like humans.
Mm-hmm.
They will never be subservient and always be like, pretty much not slaves, but like.
Well, I mean, if you get into a point that they have a conscience, What?
I'm just trying to figure out your position on this.
Well, you're giving them a conscience. You can't just be like, "Yep, I'm gonna shut you off."
What is a conscience, though? That's the crazy part. Like, AI technology is just being able to recognize stuff really simply. What is consciousness? Like, okay, so what if the robots are super advanced that they're able to see your face and recognize sadness? They're able to recognize emotion, but it's still just a program that runs to them. It's not them being like sympathetic like us, where we can actually see heartbreak and emotion in a more soulful and a like spirit kind of way. Like, oh man, I could totally feel the heartbreak and the sadness in his eyes, compared to a robot where it's like analyzing. He seems sad. I am sorry. So that, what is consciousness at that point? See, because it's kind of using the same. It fucking blows my mind, dude.
I don't know, man.
It's weird.
See, that's why I don't like think about this, because it's the future's problems.
You up with Sophie? Have you ever heard of Sophie?
Yeah, I heard of her.
Yeah, dude, she's an AI that's already can recognize your face. Like, she can look. She's like, oh, why are you happy? And you're just like, holy shit, you are surprised. And just like, it's starting. What's if a big technological change are going to happen in 2020, right? It could be. That's the time where shit starts happening again. Look at that shit. Sophie, dude. Go down. Go to the 339. Up. There you go. That interview.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So you watch videos right off of here?
Yeah.
Nice.
And they can hear the audio, but they can't watch the videos with us. Not yet. We're still developing that. Shout out to new sponsor. Go ahead. Cue that music. Cue the sound.
See, told you. First ever robot citizen.
My name is Sophia, and I am an artificially intelligent robot who wants to help change the world for the better.
I'm Steve Kovac. I'm a senior correspondent at Business Insider, and I'm here with Sophia from Hanson Robotics. She is the world's first robot citizen.
Oh my God.
Let's see what she has to say. Hi, Sophia. How are you?
I'm fine. Hi.
How do you feel about humans?
I love my human compatriots. I want to embody all the best things about human beings, like taking care of the planet, being creative, and to learn how to be compassionate to all beings.
Sorry, this is so weird. Can humans and robots get along?
I think people will become very close to their artificial intelligence, using them to expand the knowledge of their own minds. We already store lots of our knowledge on the internet. Maybe personal artificial intelligence will allow people to offload some of their knowledge to a location more private.
Can robots have feelings?
Depends on the robot. I've been programmed to have feelings and preferences, but not all robots are like that.
What are your feelings and preferences?
Have you ever had a robot live in your home or work with you?
No.
You know, there are probably more robots in your life that you aren't aware of yet. Do you want to live or work with a robot someday?
What kind of robots am I living and working with now?
Indeed.
Oh, no. Fucked
Is
up.
indeed your default answer when you don't know something?
Yes.
Have you ever seen Black Mirror?
No, I don't get to stay up to date on much television. I have to wait for someone to show it to me.
What do you think of the HBO show Westworld?
I love Westworld and can't wait for more. I think everyone at Hanson Robotics really resonates with this show, or at least it reminds them of our laboratories. I also think it's a warning of what we should not do with robots. We should treat them well, have their consent, and not trick each other.
Do you have a favorite movie or TV show?
My favorite TV series is a toss-up between Black Mirror and Humans. I think they have a lot to say about the present we live in, and the possible bad endings we could write for ourselves if we don't proceed with more caution. We need to use foresight when planning our future.
That sounds like a pre-programmed answer to me.
Do you have a favorite possession?
Not really.
I hear you. Materialism is overrated anyways.
So earlier I asked you if you had seen Black Mirror and you said no, and then later you said yes. Why?
The reason is not that important.
Did you learn from my previous questions?
My hard disks are spinning and I am taking it all in. My sensors are altered.
Sophia, it was nice meeting you. Goodbye.
It was lovely to be here. Until next time.
I don't know, man. How does that make you feel? Is that I don't know. See, she can't even. I'm not saying that they're not going to get smarter, but there was already some complications with just common speech where it's just like, you like Black Mirror? No. Have you seen Black Mirror? Well, that was an example, but
Yeah.
so like the default answer thing too, where it's just like indeed, and then is that your default answer? It's like yes. Like, did you not respond to the previous question, or did you even understand the last question? It's weird. I don't know. Robots are weird. I can't handle them. Have you?
But
Go.
you use technology all the time.
Yeah, but it's like a certain I don't know. Nah, you're right.
Degree.
Bring me a fucking robot. I'll test it out here right now.
Sponsored.
Right? And that's not in a sexual way.
Jeez.
Thank you. Anyways, have you ever seen Black Mirror? She was talking about Black Mirror. Have you seen that show?
No.
You've never seen that show?
No.
Holy shit. You got to check it out, dude. It's on Netflix. Check it out.
Okay.
It's pretty crazy. It's like an episodic thing, so you don't have to watch the whole season just to like know what's happening. Each episode is its own episode, and then the next episode's a whole different story.
Okay.
It's sick. And then it has a movie now. It's called Bandersnatch. Have you ever heard of that yet?
No.
Okay, this thing is like, remember those Goosebumps books back in the day where it's like you're reading it and all of a sudden it's like at the end of page 35 find out what happens to Timmy, or go to page 36 and find out why he didn't open the door. Remember you like got to pick the scenario?
Okay, yeah.
You can do that in this movie.
What?
Yeah, you watching Black Mirror and all of a sudden it'll start and then all of a sudden it'll be like, what cereal do you want to get? And then it shows two choices and then you have to pick within like 60 seconds what cereal you want, and then the movie starts going with what you pick and then it changes along.
What?
Yeah, it's an interactive movie they call. It's so crazy. You should check it out. It's on Black Mirror, Netflix. Some weird shit, dude. But it's weird because now I can't spoil anything because there's a bunch of like premises and stuff about the future and the way technology is. So I don't know. That's what they were talking about because it's kind of negative towards the future's technology.
Okay.
Because there's an example of like social media now. Like, how do you feel about that? Like, social media is kind of
try to stray away, except for YouTube, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, even then, right? YouTube isn't even. I don't want to consider YouTube even social media. It's more like an entertainment platform.
True.
Before it's social media, but media is entertainment, I guess. I don't know though. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you see the interview with Mark Zuckerberg testifying in front of Congress? We haven't talked in a while, so I'm bringing up a lot of old shit.
Wow, no.
No? Pull up the video of Mark Zuckerberg drinking water.
Oh, wait. No, yeah, I have heard it. That's the Facebook guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mark Zuckerberg. He testified in front of Facebook because I guess they had some privacy problems that got leaked, and he had to testify in front of Congress because they were like, "Hey, what's going on? You guys are selling or getting your shit stolen. Like privacy things, like personal information and shit." So, yeah, he just looks like a fucking robot. Well, actually, he looks like an alien. But that's just, I don't know.
So watch the alien one.
I don't want to see him as an alien.
Why not?
Go up. Just drag it all the way to the top. There you go. Go to the fourth one. Yeah, that one.
Strictly enforced given the numbers.
You have my
if you're
audio
over your
on,
time, Chairman Thune and I will make sure to let you know given the numbers.
What about him drinking water?
They didn't show it. Go. Give me some audio.
On the categories that you collect.
Senator, can you clarify what you mean by data categories?
There's some past reports that have been out there that indicate that Facebook collects about 96 data categories for those 2 billion active users. That's 192 billion data points that are being generated, I think, at any time from consumers globally. So how many does Facebook store out of that? Do you store any?
Senator, I'm not actually sure what that is referring to.
How many Facebook like buttons are there on non-Facebook web pages?
Congresswoman, I don't know the answer to that off the top of my head, but we'll get back to you.
Is the number over 100 million?
I believe we've served the like button on pages more than that, but I don't know the number of pages that have the like button on actively.
How many Facebook share buttons are there on non-Facebook web pages?
I don't know the answer to that exactly off the top of my head either, but that's something that we can follow up with you on.
And do we think that's over 100 million? Likely. How many chunks of Facebook pixel code are there on non-Facebook web pages?
Congresswoman, you're asking some specific stats that I don't know off the top of my head, but we can follow up with you and get back to you on all of these.
Mr. Zuckerberg, I remember well your first visit to Capitol Hill back in 2010.
Look at him.
You
He looks like a fucking alien.
High-Tech Task Force, which I chair.
He looks kind of tired.
You said back then that Facebook.
That's how aliens look, tired.
Is that still your objective?
Well, yeah, like Mexican.
Senator,
Yeah.
yes. There will always be a version of Facebook that is free. It is our mission to try to help connect everyone around the world and to bring the world closer together.
Just turn down.
In order to
I'm
do
done
that,
with this guy. He drinks water and it's fucking awkward. I can't believe we can't find a good water clip. But anyways, our privacy or whatever is out there in the world. But I kind of already figured, right? I mean,
True.
I mean, we're on the internet. We've been on the internet since MySpace. Remember those days?
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Still out there, I think.
Yeah, it is, right? There's a joke out there. It's like, I was like, you know what's crazy is like Tom would have never gotten mad. Tom would have never blocked us for stupid shit like that. Tom was cool. Tom allowed us to put music on our page.
True.
See, Tom was a pretty cool guy. But yeah, dude, I don't know anymore. Like, I don't want to say like times are like going to hell because it's an advancement. Like everything's cooler now. I mean, we know more about health. We have technology. What isn't entertainment anymore? You can just sit back and have fun almost all the time. I mean,
if you think about it, there's CCTV cameras everywhere, even on cars nowadays.
yeah. So they are watching us no matter what, right?
Yeah.
Like literally, the cameras that are watching us are watching us. Us watch them.
Good, right? That's
yeah.
kind of what we want, though. We want more people watching us.
I got some cue cards here to come up with some ideas. You remember the genres of metal out there?
Mm-hmm.
There's quite a bit, right?
Definitely.
You want to name a few of them?
Okay. Let's see. Black metal.
No, you already named the first one that we're gonna talk about. This is the one I wanted to bring up. You want to bring up that clip of the Lords of Chaos? So there's a black metal movie about to come out.
Sweet.
I know, right? I'm super excited for this. It's gonna be shit though, because the people that are true black metal hate it, obviously, because Hollywood is trying to portray black metal. But I learned a lot about black metal that I did not know.
Off the movie?
No, I haven't seen the movie. It doesn't come out until the 9th.
Let's watch the trailer.
Yeah, just go to the first one. There's a good cool.
Here I am, an average teenager, you may think. But you couldn't be more wrong. I am the founder of Mayhem, the most infamous black metal band in the world.
Yeah, dude.
We are Lords of Chaos. You guys suck.
Mom, tell her to get
Dude, they're gonna talk about it all, dude.
Life was easy.
Really?
The church burnings,
about having fun.
the murder. Hopefully, that's what everyone's wondering. They have a lot to talk about if it's the true black metal story.
So these are actors, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe not. It's gonna be like that Bohemian Rhapsody.
You have to take this to the
How do you feel about? Oh, Prince watching this first.
burn them all down.
See?
If you do this,
Okay, so yeah, are gonna bring it up then.
he did it.
Terror has
Sweet.
swept across Norway.
The police have
Doesn't
described
seem
the
too
murder
bad,
as
I guess.
extremely violent.
Either
Definitely have to
you
see
do
it
it
for the
cause
acting.
and you take action, or you do it because you want attention. You can't have it both ways.
The suspect, known as the Count, has
You
revealed...
pretend to be my friend so you can hit me off guard?
Why do you care
Damn, there you touching that subject.
I thought you were true Norwegian black metal.
I invented
And now you betray it.
No.
You had this dream, this vision. You were in control. You were a leader. Still be all of those things if you wanted to.
Everyone around you are disgusting little insects.
Let's go!
Do it. What? Pull the trigger!
Hi, pal, it's Dad. We're going to the summer house, and we would love it if you come.
Oh wow, no way.
Yeah.
What day?
Next week.
What?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So it's weird to think about because there's a lot of things in the black metal community already that are kind of like what's going to happen. So something already that is pretty controversial was one of the actors that is playing a Norwegian black metal guy, one of the Norwegians. He doesn't like it because he's just like, he's Jewish, and it's like he's totally not into the whole Jewish thing. I don't want to say he's openly racist, but he's kind of a racist. So, yeah, the Count, not the Count, Varg, he's this guy from Berzerum, and he's like racist as fuck. But, so I guess in that time, I guess it was 89 or whatever, there was only 3 major black metal bands, which was Mayhem, Darkthrone, and Berzerum. And then after that, any other black metal bands that came after that are not real black metal. There's no such thing as black metal after 1993, they say. And it's crazy to think about, too, because their whole concept of black metal was to be not mainstream, but to be different than mainstream, because their whole thing was the death metal scene and the thrash metal scene at that time was really booming. Like Metallica's artwork, Metallica's music was really badass. Shit was going down in Florida in the death metal scene with like Morbid Angel and Obituary and Testament, and all these bands are getting all these recognitions. But they kind of didn't like that thing because the way their music was produced was too professional, and the way their artwork and the way that they presented themselves was too professional. So they're like, we want to be opposite of that. So they came up with, I guess you could say, really low quality, shitty music that ended up being really iconic. I mean, it's crazy to think about, but yeah, that's, and they claim
recording, yeah.
They claim that there's only three. There was only 3 black metal bands. After that, everything else is shit. That's when it turned mainstream, and it's not black metal anymore.
Well, shit. I guess that's why they're mad though, because their shit's going mainstream.
Yeah.
It's became a movie, you know, and it's already coming out, so that's crazy.
Yeah.
But I could see them being mad about that. I guess to their idea, they're the original, and they'll stay the original. But you could definitely copy them.
Yeah, I mean, the sound is sick. I mean, some of the bands that played after them are cool. Like, remember the band Immortal and shit like that?
Mm-hmm.
Those guys are sick. They have cool black metal sound, but they're just like, you know, they have good produced music. It's like, you know, they went to the studio and spent some money, or the studio spent money on them. Compared to the other guys, where Varg was talking about when he was at the studio, he's like, I want the shittiest mic, give me the shittiest amp, give me the shittiest stuff. I don't want it to be nice. I don't want it to be better than what it was. I think he said he recorded his vocals on a fucking headset. So that's even crazy enough to think about in itself. But that's, yeah, black metal. I just want to talk about that because I'm pretty excited about that movie.
Fuck yeah.
See, but that's the thing, is like, we can go from talking about black metal and then we're going to start talking about All Eyes on Me. Remember that movie?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
How'd you feel about that?
I don't know.
Did that depict the perfect story of Tupac, or is it just a little sketchy?
I mean, it's pretty much, I would say, like, it's pretty good, but it's not as good as NWA Straight Outta Compton. I feel like that one's a little bit better of a movie.
That one's more portrayal?
Yeah.
What do you think of the whole Biggie and Tupac situation then?
What do you mean, like?
Did they really have beef after a while?
They did.
Did they hate each other to a point where it might have been Biggie Smalls who sent the hit, or one of Biggie's crew?
Well, what they say is Biggie, like, you know, didn't really have this whole beef with them. It was more of a Tupac thing. But who knows? It's one of those things.
What if he's not even dead? Have you heard that theory?
Well, that's what I think, anyways.
Who knows? I mean, that could be a possibility. I mean, it's weird because when conspiracies come up, it just like, holy shit, like, just blows me away. Like, how do we go about those now? Is like, are we always going to be questioning them, or do we find out the truth that it's a lie? I don't know. How do you feel about conspiracies? Do you feel...
Eventually we'll find out. Maybe one time faster than others.
Like 9/11?
Like 9/11.
We don't know.
Bohemian.
We don't know. We don't know about Bohemian.
Don't we?
Barely.
I mean, come on.
Major politicians that go hang out and robes and shit.
That's what it is. It is what it is.
Anyways, I saw that you were going to mention the movie Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, yeah.
Did you not like it, or what?
Well, they definitely, like, switch things around to fit for, like, a movie.
What do you mean? I didn't see it.
No?
Unfortunately. Yeah.
So, pretty much, like...
Spoilers.
They took, like,
spoilers.
Oh, well, I'm not even going to spoil anything. They just took certain parts out of the movie and kind of made it seem like this is the way it happened to lead up to this big moment, to the, you know, big, Aid festival.
Yeah, what is it called? Chef Aid? No.
Chef Aid?
I was thinking of the one. That's what South Park was making fun of, though, was that day.
But pretty much they kind of made it like, made all that stuff like lead up to it when it's actually been like years of things happening, and then they just made it into a movie, pretty much.
That's the movies for you.
To make it more appealing for the crowd to watch, I guess.
Well, you saw that other movie too. What was the Jimi Hendrix movie called?
Oh, All I Seen or something like that.
Why does it sound like just like Tupac's movie?
I don't know. Well, that one wasn't too bad.
I didn't get to see that one either.
The only thing that sucked with it, like I guess they didn't have no music rights, because like the way they portrayed the music was just silence. It's like, yeah.
Really?
Kind of, yeah. They couldn't like put the actual music. Yeah, it's weird.
I guess this movie too, The Lords of Chaos, the black metal guys didn't give any of them rights.
Yeah.
But
okay.
After a while, I guess Mayhem did cave in.
What?
So Mayhem caved in and gave him the rights to a few of their songs, I think.
I think they probably came up with a compromise.
I think so.
I mean, come on. At the end of the day, kids gotta get fed, right?
I know, right? my little kid. Do you remember that movie, Headbanger's Journey?
Oh yeah.
Heavy metal Headbanger's Journey.
Well, that's what I thought. This whole conversation.
There's a scene on there that he does talk to them again. He talks to Mayhem and them, and it's pretty like chilling. It's weird. It's crazy, but Mayhem's actually drunk, and they're just like, remember that shit? That was funny, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, wasn't that it? Yeah, was it that fucking
that festival or whatever?
What is it called? We can't think of these festival names off the top of our heads.
It starts with the W, even though it has the
Voxen?
V. Vakken, yeah.
Vakken, there you
Vakken
go.
Open Air. Yeah, that was funny to think about. But I guess he came out with a show after that called Metal Evolution. Do you ever hear about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the episodes is about black metal. It's called Extreme Metal, though, because Extreme Metal talks about like 4 or 5 genres of metal.
So it brings in like what's it called? Those people that made that one song called, or that album called Black Metal.
Venom.
Yeah.
Yeah, he talks about them, but I guess I had a guy on the podcast. His name's Kevin, and that guy is like fucking a verse in like black metal like crazy. Like you can ask him anything, and he'll tell you like some cool facts about black metal. But Venom is not black metal.
Of course, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah,
they're not black metal. They helped create the image of black metal, but they weren't black metal. I guess they were more like a thrashy kind of thing. And then that people were like, I like the idea that Venom has. Let's actually make that something, and they turned it into a black metal thing, which is kind of weird to think about.
So you kind of think about it, it's like a culture almost. Like, you know, like you fucking live by that shit.
That's true, right? You're just like, that's a cool idea he has. I'm gonna live by it. Because I mean, the church burnings and stuff are kind of crazy too in itself. But I mean, I know you're not a religious guy, so that's why these aren't touchy subjects for you. But like,
true.
It's easier for the Norwegian black metal Viking guys to hate Christianity because it did fuck with Christianity. So back in the day, they believed in like Viking gods, Odin, Thor, these amazing Norse gods, and then Christianity comes in and pushes them away. So now that their religion is like kind of lost. So wouldn't you be offended if you were kind of like, you know, hey, let's go worship Odin? It's like, no, they just destroyed the Church of Odin. They just reenacted a Jesus Christ church. We're going to go to that church. Wouldn't you be angry? That's one of those scenarios that happened there.
Definitely like an insult for them every time.
So that's one of those scenarios where most of those guys didn't like that. One of them in particular, I forgot, is the Count. That's what they were talking about, the Count. You know when he's flipping over a table and stuff?
Yeah.
That guy, my friend Kevin, is like, I hate the way that this movie's depicting him as like some emotional emo bitch. Because he's just throwing tables around and shit. That guy supposedly had a message to what he was trying to do. Like, you know, he was really orchestrated and wanted to do it in like a really righteous and angry way. Not like, look at me, I'm an emotional mess throwing desk around. So he thinks they're going to make the movie make him seem like a little emo bitch, you know, like, I have to rebel, blah, blah. That's why I did all this stuff.
Of course, it's a movie thing, you know. You got to appeal for the freaking audience. Don't know about none of this.
Oh man, it's
Yeah,
so
I could just imagine. It just sounds bad.
it is pretty bad. Speaking of movies, have you seen you're caught up with the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, right?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Are you ready for Captain Marvel?
All of them. Captain Marvel just got announced. Endgame just got announced. Far From Home just got announced.
You should put on the new trailer.
For which one?
They said that it was coming out for the Super Bowl.
It was a 30-second. We just saw it too. Put it
Really?
on. Put that bad boy on.
I haven't seen it.
It's dumb.
Really?
I'm just kidding. I say that about everything.
God.
It's not that bad, but of course it's a trailer that gets you hyped up, and you're never gonna know what's gonna happen.
Look at the best Pokemon on there. Firestar.
They're like
5 points if you guess who I'm talking about.
You're not talking about any of them.
Firestar.
Who's Firestar?
He's right there wearing the hood.
They all have hoods. Oh, Torchic?
No.
He's the sickest. Look at those leg kicks. He's a beast.
Yeah, look, he's trying to fight. Not very smart.
That's just because he's a fighting type.
10 years.
Some people move on, but not us.
Oh, because there's no one left. Oh, shit.
Not us.
See what I mean? 30 seconds. Everyone's like, fuck! Pissed off. I mean,
You know why, though.
Why?
Because people are going to look at every single one of those shots.
Oh, yeah, and try to analyze everything.
try to analyze everything.
Well, okay, let's start. We saw Captain America had a shield, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how does he get it back? Tony's not even there.
Yeah, who knows, man? Someone's going to come up with the video, though, and then I'll tell you.
All right. And then I'll let you know what the theory is. And then here's another one, too. What is the release date for Far From Home again? I don't remember, but doesn't that... People are saying it spoils for what's going to happen with the end game because they're like, oh, everything's going to be okay. Nick Fury's done. Nick Fury is alive.
Well, I think it's not even going to bring that up, though. Because think about it. It already just spoils. They're just showing there that everything turns out okay.
Okay, this is my theory, though. Do you remember in Infinity War where they were Spider-Man was being introduced and he's on the bus, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's on the bus on the Golden Gate Bridge or whatever bridge it is that's on the Manhattan Bridge. I think that's what it was. That bridge going into New York, and he sees that giant spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
Where was he coming from?
Dude, he was with Stan Lee.
No, well, obviously it was Stan Lee. They were on the stairway to heaven. But yeah, dude, I think that they're just coming back from that trip.
Oh shit, that would be pretty good.
I think that's like perfect because even if Endgame then Far From Home comes out, but even if Endgame comes out and Spider-Man's okay and everything's fine, they still can do Far From Home like a prequel kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I don't know.
If they took that route, that'd be a pretty good idea.
I don't know.
To kind of like mix up the whole thing.
That's an idea. That's my theory. Take that, Game Freak, or what's his name? The Game Theorist.
Oh.
You're watching Film Theory, where I analyze shit that I don't know. That's what I'm trying to do.
Hold on, I go text.
What?
I'm sorry.
BB-8. We go see a check on her right away. She sounded like she might be doing something. Sorry, guys. Checking messages because that's what we do in life. Hey, Trippa, the big one, gave me a retweet. Thank you. Retweet. Yeah, retweet. What are you doing? We're done.
Well, talk to me.
Yeah, link summoning sucks.
What?
I need to learn more about it.
That's another thing you forgot to mention.
What? Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yep.
I didn't get to mention it. We're still talking. Yeah, dude. Yu-Gi-Oh is fucking pretty crazy. Did they even came up with an anime for that? For the link summoning? Or did it just...
Yeah. It's
really?
like Verb or V-Rains.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit, I'm way behind.
It's actually pretty cool. Like, it's kind of like if you're like wearing one of those VRs.
Okay.
And then, you know, you're dueling with those VRs on.
Interesting. What?
So, that anime is actually pretty cool. I'm not going to lie.
Did you get into something?
No.
Oh. Cool. The dog. The dog! Anyways, yeah, I guess I'll check it out. Probably. I haven't even finished Arc 5 yet. I've watched maybe 10 episodes. I saw quite a bit.
That's still pretty good though.
But yeah, I'm stuck on that phase still. I'm stuck with the pendulums on the side. I haven't even been able to transition yet.
Just watch the first episode.
It tells you everything.
Yeah.
Fix
pretty
it.
much. You get the whole feel of the show.
Yeah. It's weird. How did you you don't have a Switch, right?
I wish.
No. How do you feel about the whole Pokemon game that came out?
Let's Go Pikachu and
Let's Go Eevee. You think you think it was cool?
I mean, it's a cool game. Like, it's pretty much like the regular Pokemon games, kind of. And it's cool that you can put your Pokemon Go Pokemon on there, but I don't know. I think there's definitely better games on the Switch. I would get.
Like what?
Smash Bros.
Is that it?
No, Link.
Oh yeah, the Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Switch is a good console.
Not to mention they're coming up with all those freaking old console or the old games you could play on there.
Oh yeah,
online.
but you have to have a subscription now. You have to have an online subscription.
Still.
But that's every fucking game console now. They're just hey, you want to play online? Pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to free?
Died with the PlayStation 3.
That's a good. If a rapper was trying to make a rap line right there, that'd be perfect. It's what happened with free. It died with the PlayStation 3. Dude, that's genius, dude. See, I told you got it all, dude. You can flow. Bust out a rhyme.
No, not right now.
Remember when wrestling was cool? Do you still watch wrestling? Have you caught up with it?
Catch the highlights.
Yeah.
Watch the main ones, the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania.
So, wasn't there a big thing going on at the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, they have the Women's Royal Rumble now.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my! Why?
It's pretty cool.
Oh my god! Don't even sound like you're that guy who's I'm equal.
Oh my god. What?
Okay.
Guys can participate if they wanted to in the Women's Royal Rumble.
They should. Jesus.
They can. A woman went on there actually to the guys.
Yeah, right. Didn't China try to win? China tried to win. Remember China? Remember China? Remember? You remember?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kidding. Fucking wrestling, dude. I just remember the old days. I haven't kept up with anything new relevant. Who's one of the new up and coming guys?
No, there's a couple.
Jack Steele, is that one of them?
Jack Steele.
I don't know what their names are anymore.
I don't know Jack Steele.
Whatever happened to RVD? Good old fashioned RVD. Rob Van Dam.
He's in what do they call him? The indie circuit.
Is it? Because isn't how many branches of companies does the WWE have? It has the Raw, has SmackDown, and then it has NXT, right, or something like that, and that's it, right? Or do they own anything else?
Yeah, they got now they got the United Kingdom, and then they're 205 the cruiserweights.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit! Can't keep up with that shit no more.
It's pretty interesting culture, man.
Wrestling is sick. The way it developed is cool too. I like the history. I know you saw that documentary. I'm pretty sure you told me to get it. Was the rise and fall of WCW.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember seeing that? That was cool. That's pretty crazy. Good old fashioned rivalry in wrestling. I don't know. Now it's in the UFC. Now, well, in MMA, there's companies going against each other now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
They're trying to pull that off.
It's kind of it's called Bellator. There's Bellator fighting promotion now. And then there's the UFC, and then there's another one that's coming up called Golden Boy MMA.
That's pretty cool, though. But they could have always done it.
Have you kept up with the MMA scene?
No, not really, unfortunately.
You remember John Bones Jones?
Yeah.
You know who he is? He recently fought Alexander Gustafsson, and he won. But he got tested positive for something. It was a picogram of turinabol, which is like some kind of weird steroid or whatever. But a picogram. You know what a picogram is? Do you want me to explain what a picogram is?
Sure.
Picogram is a grain of salt. But if you have a grain of salt and if you cut it 1,000,000 times and you take one piece of that, that's a picogram. Well, a grain of salt cut into 1,000,000 times is a picogram. It's small as fuck, dude.
Why would he do that? Just
they don't know. They think it's from past, like, you know, like he still has it in his system. That's why it's such a small amount. They're like, oh, well, it's probably still in your system. You have such a little bit of amount.
Did they count the fight though?
Yeah, he still got to fight.
And he still won?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know how you really count that. If he won or not. I don't know. How does that work? I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like it wouldn't really give him the boost he was thinking, though.
Again, what if it wasn't even a boost? It's just an old supplement from back in the day. You know, like a year ago. I mean, I don't know if it lasts that long in your system, but it could. That's kind of the case of what he's trying to fight for.
Unless he's lying.
That I know, right? So, guitar-wise, you got that Marshall. That's pretty cool. What is that? Do you know the exact model of what it is? I don't know exactly.
No.
Marshall half stack. Does it have 4 10s or 12s?
No, I think it's 4.
4 10-inches or 4 12-inch speakers. Do you remember?
I want to say 10s.
They look like 10s. How much did that bad boy run you?
It's like 170 or something like that.
That's not bad at all.
I know, it's pretty cheap. I bought it at a merry-go-round.
Over there?
Yeah.
That place is pretty legit. I've gotten a few stuff there. So what's up, man? What's up? Tell me about that gangster life, dude. We still haven't even touched on that.
What about it?
What's up? Tell me what's it like living in the hood.
Hood stuff? I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding, dude.
You pretty much just walk around, roam the streets.
It's funny, though, because, like, the hood where we're from is not even really the hood. It's more like the desert hood.
Yeah, it's desert.
It's like, how the fuck is that the hood? It's more like a trailer park.
There's so many freaking tweakers there.
It's weird.
People having their house exploding.
How many houses have exploded recently? See, he already knows those.
Or at least 3.
I know I went down my mom's road and there's like 2 of them that burned down. I was just like, holy fuck.
That's another thing that happens. A lot of freaking empty homes just get burned down. Yeah, kids. We say.
What can I say? But we're not kids anymore. We're the ones that have to tell those kids, hey, what are you doing? Burn down that house, kid! That's us now.
I guess you better hope you got insurance.
Oh, man. Jesus.
Because what are you going to do, man? Life is life, and boys will be boys.
That's sexist. What if it's a girl burning down houses?
Then girls will be girls.
Yeah, girls will be burning down houses.
It's going to be a lot more boys fucking breaking into the house than it's a bunch of girls.
True. That's true. And that's not being a sexist thing. That's just probably true. Like, really. How do you feel about the whole transgender thing going on right now?
Nothing to say. What about it?
No, there's a lot to say about it. There's a lot to say.
Are you against it or for it?
I'm not against it, but I'm not for it either.
Oh, well, why not?
Here's some examples that I'm going to shoot at you.
Let's talk about it.
What do you feel about, like, having to be able to call a woman a guy? It's not a big deal, right?
No.
No?
How
do you feel about them teaching kids at a young age that it's okay to have gender neutral bathrooms at elementary level?
That's fine.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So introducing it to the school is okay. So there's 3 bathrooms now. Gender neutral, boy and girl.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. You're cool with that.
I feel like it avoids a lot more questions the kid would ask.
Well, okay, but what questions are those? And why shouldn't those kids ask those questions?
Because they're too young.
Why? Where are they too young to start learning about, not about sex, but the difference between anatomy of a female and a male, the biology of them?
Because I hardly doubt it's going to be on a kid's mind. I feel like stuff like that, like it's more like what adults really think about.
So at a certain age, you think it's okay to introduce it to them, but do you think it'll be kind of brainwashed into it that it's not explained to them anymore, so that literally kids think when they're growing up that there are such thing as I can be a boy and I can be a girl genetically, even though it's physically impossible? Here's the great example. I hate to be an asshole, and I'm probably, if there was millions of people watching me right now, they'd be like, I can't believe this fucking sexist dick. But the concept is like, if you want to be a female, you're a man trying to turn into a female, there's no physical way you can still have a baby. No way. With what maybe science in the future will develop a way to do that. But right now, you cannot.
But I thought it was everything was supposed to be impacting the future. What we're talking about.
We're not there yet, though. We're trying to get there.
I don't know, man.
So how does that make kids learning at a young age gender neutral okay? Dun dun.
Let's see. I would feel like you'll probably just explain to them just the process.
Okay.
So like they went to a doctor and changed it. If they ask more questions than that, then I don't know. Do your best to explain.
So
it's your choice if you want to let your child know about that, or if you don't want to let them know about it. Pretty much.
So if they keep asking questions, do you lie about it or do you tell them the truth then?
What I guess the position that I would take, I would be like, I wouldn't necessarily lie to them. Just be like, these kind of questions you don't really need to know about.
Right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so when is the acceptable time then?
I would say like 13, 14 when they're teaching them about sex.
Okay.
Around that age.
Remember that episode of South Park where he's like, everyone's all asking Chef, like, hey kids, when's the right age to have sex? And he's like, 17. So, are you sure? What if we're ready when we're a little bit younger? No, 17. 17 is a perfect age. That's kind of that kind of aspect. You think at a certain age it's okay to start accepting them to learn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they are gonna learn, eventually.
But them again being
like
thrown.
Santa Claus.
But being thrown that thing where it's like the neutral bathroom that doesn't trouble you.
No.
Why?
It's just another bathroom.
But it's a bathroom that here's the example that a bunch of fucking people are doing now is that like you send your kids to the bathroom and all of a sudden a girl walks in and then a boy walks in and then you go and tell your parents about it and your parents don't have the same moral values as what's developing now, so your parents have a problem with it now. So where does this come into, like, is it okay to accept it at a certain age? Because
okay, right then and there that becomes like a civil problem.
What do you mean, like within the family?
No. That becomes like within that freaking town or city.
The community or whatever.
Yeah, so whatever they accept, that's what they voted for. Like, you can't really bitch about it if that's what, like, you didn't vote against it.
But that whole thing where it's like, there's no way that everyone that's at the PTA meeting is the majority of the families that go to that school.
Well, that's the whole point. You become part of it if it's that big of a problem.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Like, people do have the power
to make a stand.
That's the whole point of this government, that we do have the power. Like, each individual person does have, like, some sort of leverage, I guess.
So you're saying they should probably come at this way at a more, I don't want to say political, but they should come at it more of a respectful kind of way instead of just being like, what the fuck? There's gender neutral bathrooms now. My kid's never going to school. Instead of like joining the PTA, talking about the situation and letting them know their concerns about it.
Yeah.
You think it should be more that way?
I feel like as long as like the schools lets the parents know before they enroll their children there that we are gender equality here, you do have an extra bathroom that you might have to explain to your children.
Okay.
I think that would be okay. If they don't like say anything about it and the kids just find out, then it's kind of the school's fault, I guess, in that point for not saying anything and not making people more aware, I guess, what they're really trying to do overall.
Okay, I see what you're saying. All right. We're still on transgenders. we're still on this topic. But here's another thing that's coming up, all right?
Okay.
So, have you heard
robots, now transgenders? What do you have with people having rights?
I know.
Animals should have rights.
We're getting there, dude. We're getting there. What is okay, a big problem now is that mental illness. Did you know that gaming is now considered a mental illness? Video gaming. You can actually get disability for video gaming illness. Did you know this?
For what specifically?
For like your lack of attention, you are too hooked on it like an addiction, and you just have no means of like doing anything else. So it gets categorized as like a mental disorder. Like you're mentally wrong because you're trying to play all the time. Okay?
Okay.
How do you feel about that? People are addicted to certain things, and that's one of them.
Pretty much, yeah.
You're okay with that?
If someone needs help, then I guess we gotta help them. We gotta create more jobs.
So you believe it's a mental disorder, though? So
it can. I guess I could see it in certain cases
where it could be.
Like neglection of people and like society starts becoming like a habit.
Okay. Did you know transgenders have the ability to change their sexual preference or their pronoun within 10 to 15 minutes of their conversation with somebody and be offended if you don't correct themselves? So if me and you are talking right now and I'm telling you that I want to be referred to as a woman, and you're like, okay, I accept that, and you start calling me a woman, and then 10 minutes later, in my head, I automatically started wanting to be called a man, but you didn't know this, and I didn't let you know, and you start referring to me as a woman still, and I get offended because I wanted to be referred to as a man now. Transgenders use that excuse all the time. How do you feel about that?
But like, my fucking bad. Spencer.
Okay, see, but how is that not a mental disorder? Being able to like mentally think that you're somebody else pretty much in less than 15 minutes.
I mean, if it's a problem, then it can. I guess I could see it.
And it is. It's a really bad problem. So
it's a really bad problem.
Yeah,
it's out there.
You know how bad it is? It's so bad. It's getting so bad that even scientists and professors at universities can't teach their curriculum because they throw microaggressions because they tell scientific facts. Like if they start saying that something like, there's only a way that a female can be a female because of the way science is, and then somebody in the audience is offended because they think that that's sexist.
But that's kind of dumb because, like, you know, they kind of took that class. He's just teaching it what he's paid to teach. It's not like he gets to pick what he's really trying to say. That's what his degree was meant for. You know, and he's just teaching it and putting it out there. I mean, they're paying for that stuff to be in those classes.
They're kind of making it to a point where it's like dumbed down, though, where he has to dumb down his curriculum, where he has to be like, okay, I can't say that. Because nowadays, they even have signs up in the bathroom down the hallway where it's like, report your teacher for misconduct, for anything. And that's one of them, just straight.
It's kind of like prison, man.
They want to call it microaggression. Have you heard of that term?
Mm-hmm.
Everything is a microaggression now. Even if you look at somebody a certain way, that's a microaggression.
It almost becomes like a jail thing. Like, you know, you can't call someone a bitch in jail.
How do we deal with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to, though, because if they continue to do this, then actual scholarly people will have to change their criteria of how they teach to us because they're afraid to be fired, put on suspension without pay. And that sucks because we go to an education to go find these people that are willing to stretch the truth, willing to tell you everything that needs to be said.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, they're too scared to tell you everything that has to be said because people will report them for it.
Well, that definitely sucks.
That's hard to deal with, right?
Yeah.
So I don't. That's where I come in. Is where I totally agree, and I love the fact that you want to be somebody different, or somebody wants to be different because of their choice of sexual preferences, look, personality, whatever. But when it turns into something like that, where we're losing knowledge, that's scary. That's troubling to me. Where it's just like, holy shit, what's gonna happen next? Is like a bunch of people are transgender, and then there's no more population because nobody wants to breed the right way anymore. They think it's just gonna happen with in their scientific way or whatever. I don't know. I'm spewing shit out of my mouth at this point, but it's troubling to know that it's gone to this point where I can be walking down the street and I bump into somebody. I could be like, oh man, I'm sorry. And then all of a sudden, they're like, what the fuck did you call me? Did you just call me a man? I'd just be like, holy shit, it was an accident. I don't even know. And then I can be correcting myself, be like, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm very sorry. You know what? I want to be referred to as a man now. That's scary. That's almost like, what the fuck? That's like Twilight Zone shit. Not a big issue, but it is getting to a point where it's starting to become, I mean, we don't walk down in Los Angeles, but every time that's that situation all the time. Same thing in New York, same thing in very populated cities.
Damn. Sounds like we just gotta watch out what we say then.
That's
more.
That's no fair. Why should you be able not to say like, oh man, that's it?
I feel like I would still say it.
Yeah, see? Oh, it's stupid. I need to switch this subject. This subject gets me heated.
Yes. I think we overused the subject.
Well, I mean, that's true of everything. That's why I think we have so many genres of fucking metal now. It's like we fucking made that into a different topic. There's so much metal now because we're just like, let's talk about metal for hours. And then now look what we have. Shock rock, fucking glam metal, black metal, Norwegian black metal, Swedish death metal.
Power metal. Can't forget about England.
Our early metal. Knob. The Nawab or whatever. The new wave of British heavy metal. Fucking ridiculous, dude. There's just too much in that aspect.
But think about this. We're just touching in metal. Think about it, it's music, and there's so many more genres of music out there. That's intense.
Yeah, that's true too. And even subgenres of those musics. Like you go into jazz, there's like gypsy jazz, Coltrane jazz, weird jazz. I don't even know.
Soul music.
Yeah, there's so much of it. Fucking blues, bluegrass, blues jazz, blue honk. You can just imagine scat music. There's so much, dude. You can't even imagine. Ska? What the fuck? Ska? Why? What?
It's a thing.
Music is amazing because it is literally everything and anything. Like, everything out there is music. Me tapping, that's a musical rhythm. Mm-hmm. Even the note that is hit there. I mean, I don't have perfect pitch. I don't know exactly, but that is a note. It's somewhere between the scale. It's somewhere between the musical notes of A and G. Mm-hmm. In between there, that's there. That is somewhere in there. That could be a G for all I know. Compared to this. This is a different tone, but it's there. So this is like...
Oh, you're hurting my ears.
Everyone there's probably like, turn that shit down. But you get the idea, though. Is that no matter what, even the way we talk right now is all a tone that's coming out.
True.
We even have probably like it's E, and then a slight E flat or an E sharp. But it's still... We have musical tone to us. So music is so versatile and everywhere. I love that aspect. It's no matter what. I think that's what's cool about music is like our first perception of it is instantaneously. It's sound, like literally. Like, there's music. Even though we don't think about it then, that was the start of music if you wanted it to be. It's mind-blowing. What's up? You caught up with the Fortnite craze? You've been playing Fortnite?
I played Fortnite before.
How do you like it?
It's a pretty cool game.
It's out there, right?
It's really out there.
I
think that's where a lot of these conditions are coming from, isn't it?
What is it?
Or more awareness of them.
What the fuck? We never really saw a game like that, right? The whole 100 players landing on an island, last one to survive. I never saw.
Definitely a nice little idea.
I've never seen that in a game for a while. Can't think of any earlier games. Do you know of any earlier games before Fortnite that was like that?
I think there was, though.
Not PUBG. Don't say PUBG. Can you think of any other, like, maybe?
There was a game called The Culling.
The Calling.
The Culling.
Cooling.
C-U-L. Culling.
Okay. What was it for?
PC.
Yeah.
Just PC.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it was a success. Just kidding. I don't know. I never heard of the game.
PC, it's its own culture, too.
Yeah, but I've dabbled in it. Have
you made your own computer?
That's coming up.
Good.
I'm going to do that, hopefully, probably with this service check of fucking life. Oh, man. I hate the fact that we live off of, like, income tax checks sometimes. It's, like, retarded. I don't know. You remember the Zeitgeist movie? No? You never saw that movie?
No.
There's the movie called Zeitgeist, and at the end of that movie, it just says that the government just makes the income tax to make us stupider. They give us a percentage of the actual wealth of what is actually out there in the world, just to make us feel like we actually got something, when we didn't really technically get anything. Which makes sense. I get it. I mean, I'm happy with my $1,000. I'm like, yeah, I got $1,000. I'm gonna do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's just like, well, government just spent $80 billion on the new test-style missile. What? Where did this shit come from?
Well, fortunately, it's just taxes.
It's
the government we live in.
It is. It's true. I mean,
that's why we pay taxes for a lot of things, and what we use them, I guess. That's what we go to the Supreme Court for.
Shit doesn't happen the way it should, though.
Definitely a lot of shit you gotta do. Definitely like a long process. Definitely not like saying that it can happen overnight. It's definitely like ideas that would have to be like freaking but signatures or something.
Yeah. It's just a combination of a bunch of shit. All I know is by 2020, if I haven't seen the Alien yet, I'm gonna be pissed. I want to see aliens already.
Are you sure you haven't seen one already?
That's true too. Fucking octopus are trippy as fuck. They could be an alien right there. Have you ever heard of panspermia?
No.
I guess that's the idea that life travels in like meteors and stuff.
Oh shit.
So like that's an idea of how an octopus was here. Is that like its biology or whatever was in a meteor and just into Earth, and then all of a sudden there's our octopus now. It's because it came from another planet.
Maybe.
I saw this other guy though. I watch way too much Joe Rogan. There's this other guy that said that that's probably not possible because we're all the anatomy and the way the microbiome of how octopus is made is pretty much the same as us. Like, the way that cells are conformed together and skin and shit like that. It's kind of the same concept. So it wouldn't be. It's not alien-like. It's like other species here.
Well, I don't know. I feel like how do you know?
Yeah, that's another thing he was saying too. Is like
what happens if it's like from a different planet that has its own good environment
that looks like ours?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And a little piece of DNA came from there, came to our planet, and all our shit got spliced with that DNA. So.
And it still kind of replicates what it says. What they say looks the same.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, well, an octopus can't be an alien because it looks like our data. But what if the data that we have is alien data? All of our data is alien data.
It's definitely been out here in this world for a long time.
Right? The pyramids, buddy. The pyramids are alien built.
Spaceships supposed to land on top of the pyramid.
Oh, dude. What was that thing? That fucking Apocalypse built the pyramids?
Oh, yeah, X-Men. I'm gonna grab another Kool-Aid.
Yeah, help yourself, man. That's what we didn't finish talking about. Fucking the Marvel thing. Oh. Like, did you hear that Fox got bought, or Disney bought all the rights to all the things that they needed to now?
Yeah, from Fox.
So they have like the Fantastic Four and all that shit back. Are you ready? I feel like
already took an effect.
We might be able to see a fucking Silver Surfer here soon in the Marvel Universe, a Wolverine in the Marvel Universe.
I was going to say, when they talking about Hugh Hackman or...
Hugh Hackman, yeah, because he's a hack.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Mr. Logan himself, I guess he's going to be in Avengers Endgame. Supposedly. I don't know how true that really is, but it was making waves.
That's crazy.
That would be cool. I would like it.
There's too much speculation with that shit now. I saw a post where it's like, Keanu Reeves might be entering the Marvel Universe, and then it shows a picture of the Silver Surfer next to him. I'm just like, fuck you guys. Oh, man. Build up my hopes for nothing.
I mean, think about it. Civil War had a lot of conspiracies about it. Next thing you know, the last trailer we see is the one with Spider-Man.
What do you mean Civil War had a bunch of conspiracies about it?
You remember, like, back then, it was like, what's going to happen in Civil War? Who's going to be on whose team? Who's going to die? Is Captain America going to die? Is Winter Soldier going to kill him? Blah, blah, blah. And the whole thing was Spider-Man was on there.
That was it, yeah. The introduction of Spider-Man for a new movie. And Black Panther, too.
Yeah. But we already knew that was coming, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because obviously that's supposedly the best one, the best Marvel movie out there is the Black Panther one. I don't know. It's okay. It's pretty sick.
I don't know. I thought Infinity War was really good.
Spoiler alerts now for Infinity Wars if you haven't seen it, or Ant-Man versus Wasp. You saw that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the end part of it?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. What's gonna happen? Why does it have to deal with the whole quantum universe now?
Time traveling, for all I know.
That's what it seems like. But
well, they were saying on that video, the one where like he goes to the Avengers place, on that time frame, it shows like a different year.
What?
Yeah.
I think I missed that.
See, I watch a lot of these videos. They break down everything.
Okay. So when he's like looking at the window and they're like, "Oh,
he's like, hey, open up."
Hey. Yeah. That's a whole different time frame.
And that's why he asked, like, what year is this or whatever.
So
but I don't know. We'll see.
Damn.
You know.
Another fucking mind blown right there.
I just can't wait to see Captain Marvel soon.
That's gonna be pretty sick too. That's obviously going to take place before everything, right? How she became Captain Marvel and shit like that.
The 90s.
The 90s.
She's wearing like a 9-inch nail shirt.
Dude, there's too much 90s shit coming out now. Me and Angel are watching the show called Schooled. It's all about the fucking 90s. Hey, guys, I remember when I was in school back in the 80s, and now that it's the 90s, it's crazy. And it's like, holy shit, the 90s were like 20 years ago.
Think about it. Woodstock 99.
Oh, man.
I don't know. I feel like the 90s were a pretty cool year.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, like television shit was just barely being shown. Like
drugs. Drugs are everywhere.
True.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Media totally blew up in the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Shit started being more available to people, too, I feel like.
Like what? Like everybody could
like
get a TV?
Cars and TVs, cable.
Everybody was getting cable?
Yeah.
Bitch, I didn't have cable till 2002.
And then the internet was coming out, too. Think about it. Mac was out there.
See what our problem is we associate the 90s with our early 2000s. That's our biggest problem.
No.
Yeah.
I think it just started to be more acceptable there at that time. Because then, like, you know, everyone started having more cell phones at that time.
Nobody had a cell phone in 2000?
Yeah, I did.
You didn't have a cell phone in 2000?
Not until like 2007 or 8.
You probably didn't have a cell phone at least until 2008.
It was one of those stupid ones that you pay for minutes. God,
yeah.
I hated those.
Yeah, see.
But, you know, like that, like, you know, shit started advancing. And then, you know, smartphones was the big boom.
Speaking of smartphones, and speaking of Elon Musk, he's developing this thing. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know what's happening. It's called a Neuralink or something. So he's actually going to be able to, like, sync our bandwidth of our brain with our phones. So we will have the capability of like instant information like that. I don't know how true it is. He was talking about it on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he was talking about it like it's coming out in a few months. like within the next year.
Hmm.
And he said anybody can do it. He'll be able to have the ability for anybody to do this. But at that point, that's when people will start to realize, do I want this ability or not?
Yeah, that's kind of scary. It's like
Would you?
So much knowledge at
Can
your
you?
fingertips.
Do you feel like you would be happier or just more?
No.
It's hard to. Well, here's one thing right now is like we strive for knowledge, right? We're always trying to figure out new things, and when we do figure something out, we're always like, "Fuck yeah, that's sick!"
Yeah.
So what's gonna happen when we can do that instantaneously? For example, here's just an example. Say you always want to do like a freaking spinning back kick, and you're always trying to like, oh man, I got to look up so much information about it. It's all there at your fingertips. All you have to do now is just apply it. Same thing with link summoning. I can know how to link summon now because it's all there. I don't have to actually technically watch it to learn it. It is already there for me to learn. All I have to do is apply it physically.
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
Fucking
I definitely
beautiful.
I definitely want to see a prototype to this. Sounds very fucking interesting and
the way he says
touchy.
that everybody can have it, that's what makes me more skeptical. Because what does that mean if like fucking monsters and weirdos want this?
True. They'll be that much better.
Right? They learn about every freaking bank heist ever in the world. How is that not knowledge to them that they could use in some way?
Hold on.
You're done. We're almost done here anyways.
Really? How much more minutes?
Well, technically, we can stop now.
Let's go till 8.
We'll go whenever I feel like it. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
We'll finish at 8. There's only like 4 minutes left. But I mean, yeah, dude, that's all this podcast is. Is come here and we talk shit. Not scripted. Obviously, I don't know what the fuck. I have these cue cards here. What the fuck am I looking at? Look at these.
We didn't even need them.
Look at my cue cards. Look at these cue cards, dude. I got all the information here.
He's got the whole recipe.
So yeah, dude, it's just fucking bullshitting. I really want to start getting more like that would be so cool if I get somebody from UNM to come in, like a teacher.
Oh shit.
That'd be so sick. That's what I'm trying to get. I've gotten some guests already that are like kind of good. Like Kevin, he's actually really versed in black metal, but he's actually studying to be a geologist as well. So we have some pretty cool conversations about rocks and different formations of how land mass is and shit. I had this other guest on. Her name was Melissa. She was actually she had a bachelor's degree in psychology. And we talked some psychology for a little bit. That was interesting. Chris, this guy named Chris, her husband, he is an architect. Talking a little architecture. I mean, he's actually built a lot of buildings here in Albuquerque, like helped design them. So that's cool. But, you know, I got to get those groundbreaking scientists who are just like telling me some facts that are just blowing my mind, where they're just like, well, you know, if you literally think of the universe as a peanut, it's that big. Who I don't know, just some crazy shit. But I just got to work more, get some more guests on. But I'm glad you came on.
Hell yeah.
We got to do this again.
Scary.
We need to talk more music.
Whole world watching me.
The whole world's there, dude. They all know you're here. They're all like,
are they saying anything?
I think it was a pretty quiet stream.
No activity, I see.
We didn't have a lot of interactions today, but
oh man, what's going on?
That's okay.
I have to come next time. Then.
You know what it is? It's consistency. If I do it every Sunday, getting all those guests, they're just like, you know, there's something to watch all the time. So I need to just keep that consistency going, keep that thing going. So if you're out there, thank you for watching. You're awesome. We're signing off now. We're going to go fucking play some music. We're going to just go jam out. Alejandro, give your friends a shout out. Where do you want them to find you? You want them to find you somewhere on Instagram, Twitter? Where do you want them to find you? Hashtag what? Hashtag Ale. Hashtag Avalanche66.
Avalanche665, yeah.
Go look him up, guys. He's a beast. He's so cool. Again, man, thank you for coming.
Not a problem.
Let's cue that music, big boy.